Hello, I am Jill Scharfman, and this is a mini episode of Let My People Eat, where I share a personal story, a parable, or a bit of Jewish history from which we can all learn something. I came across an obituary in the New York Times back in 2011 for a cat named Quetzal. I thought it would make a fascinating children's story, which I will soon tell you, and I set to work on writing and finding an illustrator to put my ideas on the page. I even sent the copy to a relative who was a book editor to get her input. I was busy with other things at the time, and my notes sat on my desk. Imagine my surprise when a few years later, I was in a gift store in Los Angeles when I came across that same story in book form. The writer and illustrator had put my vision on the page beautifully, but boy was I annoyed. How dare they steal my idea before I had time to execute it? I immediately bought the book and displayed it prominently on my coffee table to remind me that if I have a good idea, don't wait for someone else to act on it. I believe this lesson made it easy for me to take the leap when the podcast idea was born. Here is the story of Quetzal the cat. Quetzal was a black and white cat. Unlike many other musicians that we know, Madonna, Liberace, Quetzal only had one name. Now, Quetzal was owned by Moshe Katell, who died in 2008. He was the chairman of composition at the Peabody Conservatory at Johns Hopkins University, and later he became a rabbi. Now, Quetzal, which means cat in Yiddish, only wrote one song in her career. She one day leapt onto the piano while Professor Cuttle was sitting there and played a short tune. Professor Cuttle was startled. He said, "This piece has a beginning, a middle, and an end. How can this be? It's written by a cat." He put the song away until he received an announcement that the Paris New Music Review's 1-minute competition was looking for pieces no more than 60 seconds long. Now, Professor Cattell said, "I don't have anything to send in. My students don't have anything to send in, but I'm going to send in the piece that was written by the cat." And believe it or not, Piece for Piano 4 Paws won a special mention. Quetzal's exquisite atonal miniature only used 10 pitches of the chromatic scale, but it was written beautifully. It was later performed at the Museum of the City of New York with the composer in attendance. When the pianist said the next piece, believe it or not, was written by Quetzal the cat, Quetzal meowed. Everyone fell on the floor laughing, but of course Quetzal knew her name. She received a royalty check for $20 that sure bought her a lot of cat food. I am Jill Scharfman, and I hope this makes your day a little more satisfying.